Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here. My name is Andrew, coming to you from the beautiful Carolinas. Today's topic is going to be when the narcissist knows you know. Think about that for a minute. Everyone, if you like the content, please like, subscribe, and share. So this is a video I created a year and a half ago. I'm going to put a fresh take on it and a different look because it has been requested by so many people. Again, remember, if there are any video ideas you want me to create, please drop an email at narcdailyvideos@gmail.com. Also, if you want one-on-one coaching with me, use the same email, narcdailyvideos@gmail.com. So when the narcissist knows you know, this will be when the tables turn in the narcissistic relationship and you have the advantage. What I mean by that is you will now have the wisdom. You'll be acquiring the education. You now have something to identify what the relationship was about. Remember, the narcissistic abusive cycle, you weren't taught this in school, so you most likely thought that individuals thought the same way as you did, or they had the same core beliefs and values. In other words, that people, for the most part, were kind and loving and they wanted to help each other out. Nothing could be further from the truth. Tough pill to swallow, but it's reality. A, most people don't have your best interest at heart. B, many people are envious and or jealous of you. And C, narcissism walks the planet. Now, having unpacked all of those things, when you were in the relationship with the narcissist, no matter who it was, family member, lover, friend, acquaintance, teacher, whomever, you didn't understand what was going on. What you knew was you were experiencing poor behavior and that you were not quite feeling good when you were around these people. You were becoming anxious. Perhaps you had never experienced anxiety before, and then lo and behold, you were in the relationship, and now you know what anxiety is. It's not a good feeling at all to be anxious or to feel anxiety. When you're around a narcissist, many times you are full of anxiety because you don't know what shoe is going to drop next. You don't know if you'll experience gaslighting or a rage fit or the silent treatment, on and on and on. What you do know is this person is not trying to build you up. They are trying to invalidate you. They are trying to devalue you. They are trying to have you not believe in yourself and your concerns, and they are wanting you to believe that they know more than you do. Again, when you are with the narcissist, most likely, many times you are isolated, whether it's in an office setting and they call you into the office and they close the door and it's just the two of you and you get a rage fit from the workplace bully, i.e. the narcissist. Maybe you're in a car, you're driving, it's a family member, but it's just the two of you in the car and they just explode on you because you rolled the window down a little bit because you needed some fresh air. Why? Well, probably because in the car, the tension was so thick you could cut it with a butter knife and you wanted to get some fresh air into the car. They couldn't have that though, could they? No, they wanted the window rolled up because they wanted you as uncomfortable as possible. Get the message. Other things, when you're with the narcissist, you experience so much toxicity behind closed doors. Remember when you would come home, would it be Dr. Jekyll or Mr. Hyde that would greet you when you entered the door, or vice versa when they came through the door? Would they be in a good mood or not such a good mood? But you couldn't quite put your finger on what this behavior was. And then you found my channel, and that's like finding a diamond in the rough and or a needle in a mountain of haystacks. And then you're like, oh my goodness, there is a community out there and there are people that feel the same way I do and they're experiencing the same things that I have. Yes, yes, and yes. This is a real thing. It is a silent, insidious, slow dripping, death by 1,000 paper cuts, abusive, manipulating technique administered by the narcissist. Play that again. Now, when you finally identify what you're up against and you know that what this person is, meaning the narcissist, that is a pivotal point. As I mentioned earlier in the video, it's because now you're getting the wisdom. You now have the craving for the knowledge. You're now understanding what gray rock is. You're understanding what triangulation is. You're understanding what object constancy is. You're understanding that this individual that you are now thinking of is a child. Their mindset is that of a child, but perhaps they're in an adult body because they never fully understood how to be accountable or to introspect or to say they were sorry. Because what they've done is they've bulldozed their way through life, and it has served them up until this period in time. So why would they stop now? If it's worked for them for X number of years on the planet, all they need to do, this is the narcissist thinking this, all I need to do is fine-tune my skills, find new unsuspecting individuals who are empaths, who are naive, who don't know their value, who will believe in my mask, and I'll just take away from them. I'll take everything I possibly can from them. Wash, rinse, repeat. That is the narcissistic abusive cycle in a very, very small nutshell. But when the narcissist knows you know, and this will happen once you get the wisdom, they will see a shift in your demeanor. They will no longer have the control over when you respond to their texts. Let's say you're in the relationship and you're trying to get out of it, as this example, for this example. Well, now you've identified that the person you're thinking about is a narcissist. Now they have you groomed to respond immediately, to react to their texts. Now you don't do that. Now what you do is you see a text from this individual, you read it, you put the phone down, you go for a 20-minute walk, you come back, and then you consider and or think if you want to respond to that text. Maybe you don't want to. And they will notice these subtle changes. They're going to say to themselves, wait a minute, I used to have this person, which was you, jumping through all these hoops, doing all these things because I had them placed in the narcissistic fog or the devaluation stage, and I wanted them needing me. The truth of the matter is I, the narcissist, need them. Understand the message. And when you get this wisdom, and perhaps you will have to break the trauma bond, which is one of the most challenging, difficult things to break known to humankind. And if you've had to do it, drop comments below. If you are having to do it, understand you will do it with patience, due diligence, strength, courage, fortitude, resilience, and commitment. Having said all of these things, the narcissist will realize the subtleties, the way you're not giving them the attention you used to, the way you're not listening to their words because their words don't hold weight any longer, the way you see through the charade of the clothes they wear of a generation or two younger than them, the way that they snicker and the way that they give you the grin and the way that they look at you sideways like you're not behaving properly when in fact it's them that's not behaving properly. In other words, when you get the wisdom, the narcissist will understand this. Now, are they going to come out and knock on your door and say, hey, I think you understand what I am now, and I never thought you would figure it out, but I want to let you know, good job, you're smart. No, what they're going to do is deny anything that happened in the past, gaslight you. They're going to act like you don't exist. They will want to run for the hills away from you when you figure them out. When the narcissist knows that you know, it's game over for them. They can't control you any longer. Their words are hollow. Their actions are unfounded, which means, again, when the narcissist had control over you, remember, you were living for them. You were working for them. You were doing what they wanted you to do in your time. Once you understand just how weak and frail the narcissist really is, you understand that you want nothing to do with them. And the best path, sincerely, is if you have the ability to do so, is to go no contact, block them, remove all flying monkeys and people associated with them. Remove them from every social media app. Move if you can. Relocate. Do what you need to do, but don't let them ever crawl or creep their way back into your life. Now, again, I understand many people can't do that because perhaps they share children with a narcissist, or perhaps their son or daughter is a narcissist, or perhaps their mom or dad is a narcissist. I get it. Point being there is utilize gray rock. So that means you can still attend the family functions and do what you need to do. Perhaps it's a barbecue coming up. You can still attend those, but just gray rock, which means become boring and minimize your exposure to the toxic individual or individuals. But when the narcissist knows you know, they will get a sense, believe me when I tell you, they will feel a tingling in their tiny little brain, and it will tell them, oh no, I pushed this one too far, just like I push everyone too far. And this one, which is you, has the wisdom now. They are now my kryptonite. They now see through my mask. There's nothing I can do to manipulate them any longer. What do? Well, I will play the long game, first of all, and wait it out. And I will have to get another source of supply or sources of supply. And maybe at a later date down the road, I will hoover this individual who turns out to be you. Or maybe I won't because they're too smart and they have built up boundaries and they know their value and they know their worth and they know that they want nothing to do with me. Understand the message here. It's loud and clear. When the narcissist knows that you know, you win. Now, in a relationship, there should be no winners and losers. However, when you are in a relationship with an individual who portrayed themselves to be one person and was somebody completely different, winning is very important because you have two options. A, you stay in that toxic narcissistic relationship longer and you get beaten down to become a shell of yourself and all your resources are taken from you. Or you wise up, figure it out, you block them or go no contact, and then you have identified now that you want nothing to do with that person. Remember, there are 8 billion people on the planet. The last thing you need is to be in a narcissistic relationship with anybody. There are so many people out there. There are so many good people, good, kind-hearted people. There are empaths out there. There are people just like you, wherever you are on the planet right now, that are going through exactly what you're going through. We are one person scattered all throughout the globe because we now speak the same language, which is the narcissistic abusive cycle language. Remember, for those of us in the community who have come through the fire and risen through the ashes like a phoenix, this is now a superpower. We can't unsee what we've seen. We no longer will tolerate poor behavior. We no longer are yes people or people pleasers. We now have boundaries. We now make people jump through hoops to get to us if we so choose to make them a part of our life, whether it's romantic or friendship, business, acquaintance, whatever it is. But we don't just go around telling everybody about ourselves like we did in the past. We're not an open book. You see, we have now become galvanized. We've now become the strongest version of ourselves possible. We've entered the third version of ourselves, and this is the best version of ourselves yet. Remember again, when you reach the pinnacle of indifference, the mountaintop of indifference, post-narcissistic relationship, after you've healed and after you've had all the sleepless nights and all the friends abandon you and you were putting yourself back together behind the scenes when no one was there for you, you really need to slow down, take stock, and pause in where you have been, where you are going, but most importantly, where you are. Because I can assure you, if you've put yourself back together in a period of time, whether it was a month, 5 years, or 10 years, or whatever, you've really had to do a lot of work. And you've really had to learn about yourself and introspect. You deserve a big, huge virtual hug, which I'm sending you right now. The last thing the narcissist ever thought that you would do was figure out who they were, first of all. Second of all, break the trauma bond. Third of all, have the courage to block them and remove them and just say goodbye, narcissist. Enjoy yourself, but stay away from me. They never thought any of those things would happen. What they thought is they would keep you stuck in the trauma bond. You would be reaching out to them. You would be open for hoovers. You would not heal. You would not figure out who they were, etc. That's not what we do on the channel. What we do on the channel is we become educated. We use our experience with our education, which equals wisdom. We practice boundaries in real time, and we no longer serve anybody that doesn't serve us. In other words, any relationships that are not reciprocal, we have no time for those. We don't. It just doesn't work that way. Of course, unless you're taking care of kids or something like that, then that's a responsibility, and you should want to do that anyway without expectation, which is another thing. When you're with the narcissist, there is expectation placed upon you throughout the whole relationship, and you are supposed to be accountable. You are supposed to be the person that takes the blame. You're the person that's supposed to do everything seamlessly and perfectly. Never happened, did it? No, because the harder you worked for the relationship, the more they diminished your efforts and the more they invalidated you. But when the narcissist, when they know that you know, again, that's not a good thing for the narcissist, because they now understand, wow, this person really is so much stronger than I thought. This person is smarter than I thought. This person is the one that got away. This person is the one that is not ever looking back. They are going to learn from the relationship and how much I tried to take them down, but I failed, like I fail at all relationships. That's what the narcissist, it's what they're thinking. They won't admit it, but they know that they blow up relationships. But then again, they're going to say, wow, this one is unhooverable. This one is galvanized. This one is a superhuman. This one now has the wisdom. I never thought that they would get it. I never thought that they would be as strong as they are. But what the narcissist doesn't know is they helped create who you are. Understand the message. You had to go through the narcissistic abusive cycle. You had to go through that relationship. Did you know what you were about to enter? Perhaps when you got married or moved in with someone or signed the business agreement? Of course not, you didn't. But when you did it, you were committed fully. You were perhaps the best stepdad or stepmom or husband or wife or business associate or friend you could possibly be. And that's a good thing. And the narcissist, despite them trying to take you down and have you not succeed, you continued to work as hard as you possibly could. When the relationship ended, they thought that they would finally kick you to the curb, crumble you up like a sheet of paper and throw you away in the freeway, which is what they did. But they didn't think that you'd ever get yourself straightened out. They did not think that you would become the person you became. You did, and you are now the best version of yourself. So remember, the narcissistic relationship, it's something you had to go through it. There was no other way. And if you really think about it, that relationship, as difficult and challenging as it was, it changed you forever. And the narcissist, the irony here, is the narcissist is the one that made you as strong as you are. They really are. Now, do they get credit for your healing? Absolutely not. They get credit for nothing but the abuse they dished out and the lies and manipulation. However, you turned that upside down. You turned it into a positive, and that's why you're here on the channel. That's why you made it this far in the video. So guys, get the message. When the narcissist knows you know, it's game over. You now win. It's checkmate for you. You have now conquered one of the most challenging relationships known to humankind. So guys, that's the video. I hope you liked it. I loved doing it from the beautiful Carolinas. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great afternoon. Stay true, stay blessed. Continue to become awakened and aware, and understand you are the priority. You come first, second, and third. God bless you, everybody. Remember, you are not alone. No matter where you are on the planet, you are not alone. I love you all, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. All right. Have a great afternoon, you guys. Bye.